Hey there everyone, Spazzy Dragon here, aka Syndromes, and hey, I'm finally uploading a video. Good for me. Alright, today is going to be a special kind of video because this is going to be the first video of its kind. I want to take you with me, and we are going to do a mini event. Okay, at the time of recording this video, I still haven't posted this thread in particular, but it is going to be a thread explaining the multiple kinds of events that I'm going to be doing in the nearby future. They are going to be categorized when it comes to size and the elaboracy, if that is even a word. But, okay, the TLDR version is that there are going to be three types of events. The first one is called just a event or a official event. These events are going to be sort of assisted by the server-side plugin for events, such as the combat events where you get the bonus and you get a scoreboard, or trade events where you get the bonus and a different kind of scoreboard. Those would be the biggest events, and at the time of this recording, I would say there's going to be maybe 2 of them per month. Now, I don't really have to limit them in the sense of I always have the time for them. I can easily make them. It's not really that bad. It's not really that difficult to do, but the thing about events is that they still require to be a special occasion, and getting people too used to events to the point that they are just going to log only for events is probably a really bad thing as time passes. So that is something we're not going to do. But don't worry, I still have time for mini and micro events. Now, technically it's the same thing. It starts off as a PvE event. Now, the difference between a PvP and a PvE event is that obviously you're against NPCs, and if you happen to die in this sort of event, you are able to rejoin, and this is something we're going to be doing today. In the Tau 23 system, actually. Okay, so it's 55, it's almost time for this event, and we're going to log on to this, onto my admin account. So these are the two characters I'm going to be usually using for the PvE events. So one is a Petite, this is a camera ship, and one is a Stargazer. Both are going to be permanently cloaked. Don't bother remembering these names, I rename them every single time I log on. Or actually before I log on, just in case. Okay, what is going to happen right now is that now, for some reason, I'm in Coronado, and I do not know why I'm in Coronado. I have everything that I need. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna quickly check. The problem here is that I cannot Alt-tab while recording, so I'm going to be constantly going to the other side. Okay, apparently it is called Indochine, so meme teep to shine. I hope I actually up teep teep to Indochine. There we go. We are currently in Tau 23. So this is where the event is going to happen. So the actual difference between a mini and a micro event is actually very simple. A mini event gets a console heads up, you know that there's going to be a mini event. So people actually have a sort of heads up. They get warned that there is something going on. A micro event is when there is no warning, and I'm going to show you a micro event at some point as well, but today we're going to be starting off with a mini event. So the first things first, we are going to undock from this base, and we are going to cloak. Because this ship, the only reason why this ship exists is to provide the NPCs. So, something bugged up, so let's just recloak a little bit. It happens sometimes. And I'm still not sure whether or not this is a graphical glitch only, but there you go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fly over here. This is where the mining field is. Let's make sure that... Yep, there we go. And let's see. So obviously I have a admin scanner on the ship. It means that I can see every single player that is in this system. And we are going to... one more thing is, as you can see, I can actually see them from a really far away physically as well. I can hover over their ship signatures and I can actually see their names. Alright, so... actually at first, I'm going to quickly drop a message in the console, and again, I would need to Alt-Tab at this point, but I'm going to be using my laptop, so I'm sorry, but I have to migrate to the other side of this room again. There's our little heads up. It means that the event is about to about to start. Now, obviously, a lot of people, when they think, oh, it's a PvE event, you know, with NPCs. Oh, so what are you gonna do? You're just gonna spawn like 20 NPCs on top of someone? No, NPCs are gonna be spawned in waves. That is the first thing. And it is kind of tricky to figure out how many you need to spawn and what kind of NPCs you need to spawn depending on the circumstances. There's actually a fair amount of people around. So there we go. So, right, so, transport's moved to the field. Now, obviously, Jack Henderson is aware of this event. I already warned him beforehand, and I just realized that there's an... I actually set a freaking alarm clock for this! No! Alarm clock! So, that was the alarm clock that the event needs to start. Okay, guys. We are going to start spawning our first NPCs, but Tom Marsh is a little bit too close. Alright, so what we're gonna do... And where is he? He's real... Why is he coming so close? Ah, for fuck's sake, why is he here? Why is he over here? Okay, so tell you what, the problem is I don't want someone to just see the NPCs beforehand, so if I spawn them right now, then obviously Tom Marsh would actually see the NPCs, and the surprise would be ruined, so there you go. What we're going to do, we are going to go to the field, say from this side-ish, and this is where we're going to actually spawn our first ships. Now the thing about Nomads in general is that these NPCs, due to their effects, actually cause a fair amount of lag. NPCs in general don't really cause that much strain on a server, especially when it's, you know, mid-low times when there's not 100 players online. It's not that bad. You can actually spawn a fairly decent amount of NPCs without having any problems. At this point, the limiting factor is the actual FPS lag. So right now I'm recording at 155, but as soon as I start spawning more than 5 or 6 NPCs in, we're going to see this number slowly decreasing. Okay, so that is where they are, and we are going to start off by summoning 3 NPCs, which are really, really out of place, So first, we are going to spawn a Nomad, or rather a wild IFF, Liberty Assault Battlecruiser, and it is going to be flanked by, say, two Nomad, well, not Nomad, but rather Liberty Navy Avengers. So we are going to take that, and this is where the mining operation is currently happening. So I'm gonna make these NPCs follow me, and we are gonna slowly approach this field, and we're gonna make sure that we are approaching slow enough so that these players actually get a chance to notice the approach of these NPCs. They should be able to see them at around 18 to 17 to 16k range, although that is not always the case, especially with NPCs. Now, what we're going to do now is we're not going to thrust forward, because this larger ship of ours is not able to keep up with a light fighter at thrust speed. And let's see what is going to happen as soon as we actually get into range of the mining party. This is a really odd thing. Now, obviously, the big thing about PvE missions, again, is the fact that if you die, you can actually respawn, because that's not a PvP death, and our server currently has rules only regarding PvP death. So, yeah, we should be, you know, visible for these people at this point. Ow, for fuck's sake. Let's do it like this. What I just told the NPCs is to stop following me. And instead, we're gonna have them take up position over here. Over here. And see what their overall reaction is. Red contacts unknown, 11k from the mining field. Confirmed 3 contacts for now. For now, it's only 3 contacts. Obviously, I'm not going to go overboard as the first wave. This is the first wave. It is going to allow people to actually kind of scan, see what they are. Maybe one of them is going to fly closer to kind of check it out. What the hell is it? Just see what happens. Okay, so one is actually coming in to see what it is. It's not a Devi bomber. So what is going to happen? Obviously we're cloaked. No one can see us. And we are going to make it that these players instantly see that these NPCs are hostile. So what's going to happen is, yeah, indeed, those are in fact Liberty capital ships. And now we are going to go after our friend Frayed Rand here. We are going to have the NPCs form on us, and they are going to be trying to follow us. Oh, looks like the fighter's already here. Oh, wow, this guy is slightly lagging. Oh, there we go, there's the battlecruiser. So what we're doing now is making sure that these NPCs are very close together to us. And as long as they're following us, and I'm remaining very close to the player, they are going to be attacking him. Oh, hello. That was a razor. Those are wild ships, alright. Okay, so now they've noticed these NPCs, but now they need to stop them from going after the transports. So now we are here, and that battlecruiser is coming after these ships. It's like one of these ships. Okay, looks like the battlecruiser did not make it this time. Right? So that was the first wave. At least they know what they're dealing with. And there goes the other one. Okay, let's allow these players to take a small breather.
Warning, sensor efficiency reduced.
And after that, we're gonna be spawning in the second wave. And this time it's going to be a little bit nastier. Now obviously we are going to be ramping up the difficulty, but the trick here is not to do it too fast. And there we go. Let's see if their defenses can actually intercept this. Because if they don't, then... Or Kahara elements. Oh yeah. So obviously I've already prepared many NPCs for this sort of event. I have pretty much every single kind of, quote, infested ship that there is. Okay. Well then, you're gonna be the first. As you can see, these NPCs are currently following me, and which means that they can focus on a target. This is not what usually NPCs do. NPCs switch between the closest targets at all times. Okay, let's see if we can get closer to the mining field again. Let's see how many can actually do that. An outcast. An outcast is going to defend against a fucking Nomad? Hey, well, let's see how many NPCs can get here. Boom! Hello. Now the only thing about these NPCs is that they don't actually have cruise instructors, so the moment this guy actually gets away enough, we can actually, boom, switch to the next target. Something just went down. I think it was one of our gunboats. Oh. Might as well be this thing. Let's lead the fight towards this thing. Why is that outcast hulking against the Nomad? Kind of silly. There goes one of the guards. And this is going to help us not spawn too many NPCs at the same time. But as it looks like at this point, this Desi's not really taking too much damage. And if this remains the case, I might need to start spawning in something bigger. There we go, we have 2 NPCs. What I did now is I told the NPCs to free fire, basically, you know, to stop following me or anything. Offensive. Okay, so what we're going to do is they are going to be keeping the NPCs at bay, and the IMG are going to be trying to mine normally. So at least that is what it seems like from what is Jack Henderson doing currently in roleplay. Okay. Oh, the next one is going to be a slightly more tricky choice because they actually have a lot of ships in terms of types. And if I start spawning too many things against caps, is going to make it really, really hard for all the fighters, so... Yeah, let it be just regular. Okay, let's do this. Now this is going to be a little bit more trickier because of the sheer amount of NPCs, more so than anything else. Is that really a fucking outcast? Seriously? I fucking hate this. Outcast should not be helping against the Nomads. And obviously, Bird of Prey is going to be the first. Okay then, buddy, if you are going to intercept these NPCs, you are going to take the flag. Follow this guy for a little bit. Oh, well, okay. Hey, hello Mike Johnson. Let's focus the fire on you for a little. And yes, those are in fact infested junkers, yeah. Now the only reason why they're infested is because then I know that they're hostile to everyone. And they are, in fact, infested as well, yeah. So obviously, the larger NPCs can in fact fire in all directions possible. We still have a huge amount of NPCs. Someone is firing dual novas into me. Now, making sure that I'm very close to this particular player so that all of the NPCs that can keep up with me are actually firing at him rather than something else. Now, obviously, it doesn't stop the NPCs from shooting other players, but it means that they actually do the focus on this one. We might need to send the next wave into the mining operation itself so that they don't get too comfy over there. There's still plenty of NPCs though.